Here are 4 lessons about risk, barakat, and adversity which I use to become a better version of myself, and you can too. The first lesson is Allah instructs us to seek help through sabr and salah. In Surah Baqarah, Allah tells us, seek help through patience and prayer. In this ayah, Allah is telling us not to lose hope in times of adversity and instead resort to prayer to seek help. Remember, in times of hardship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, with hardship, surely there will be ease. This is almost written as a test for our iman. It measures that when we're at our weakest moments, who do we turn to? Think about this for yourself. Who do you turn to in your lowest moments? Do you message your friends? Do you overthink your circumstances? Or instead, do you make wudu and submit yourself to prayer? Do you resort to patience even when it seems like your circumstances will never get better? Do you remind yourself that Allah is near and Allah has never failed you? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is almost giving us the recipe to deal with our problems. It is written right in front of us, only if we are willing to read it. The second lesson reminds us to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our blessings. In Surah Ibrahim, Allah says, if you are grateful, I will certainly give you more. No matter what we're blessed with, as humans, we are always looking for more. We forget that we're currently living in our answered prayers. Allah the Almighty always increases His favors upon those who are thankful to Him. He is generous. He is Al-Karim. He is Ar-Rahim, the most merciful and the most generous. Remember, there are always people who will have less than you, and it is important that we remember them and be grateful for what we have. Thirdly, we are reminded to keep our blessings private. In Surah Yusuf, it is said, O my dear son, do not relate your vision to your brothers, or they will devise a plot against you. Surely Shaitan is a sworn enemy to humankind. With the rise of social media in the 21st century, we have gained access to people's blessings like never before. This is dangerous because we might question why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasn't blessed us in the same way. However, social media is a fabrication because we don't see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has withheld from them. We don't see their struggles. Hazrat Yaqub refrains Hazrat Yusuf from sharing a good dream he had where he saw the stars, the sun, and the moon prostrating to him with his brothers. Although they were blood brothers, Hazrat Yaqub knew that they had ill intentions and they would get jealous and do something to harm Hazrat Yusuf. And this is exactly why we should keep our blessings private, to ensure ill intentions don't affect us. Lastly, we are reminded that our risk is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only. In Surah Al-Isra, it is stated, do not kill your children for the fear of poverty. We will provide for them and for you. Surely killing them is a great sin. In our modern society, it seems like we're in a constant race, a race for the best possible jobs, the best possible cars, or the best possible house. We fear about how we'll provide for our families, and we constantly compare our risk to the risk of others. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala disapproves of this race. He tells us not to fear the lack of risk. He tells us to remain faithful and to bow down to Him and ask Him to solve our struggles. To quote one of my favorite things I've read, it says, the concept of risk is so beautiful. Even when you eat a piece of fruit, it was always written for you. From the moment it grew on the tree, it went through all these people and traveled all this way until it was in your hands. It was always meant to be yours. And in the same way, your risk is always written for you. So what's the point about stressing over something that Allah has written for you centuries ago? Because He is Al-Razak, which means He's the only one who can provide sustenance for us. Work hard and ensure you pray, because Allah loves those who turn to Him, and He loves those who work hard. After you've done these 2 things, there's no point in stressing, because surely He will reward you. To conclude, here are the 4 lessons I've learned on risk, barakat, and adversity which have transformed my life. I hope they have a positive impact on yours as well, and if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz.